overall theme of this lesson is Buddhist explanation of evolution of society and origin of the state. Under this theme, we will be discussing particularly on the idea of kingship as a social contract. Now this Professor idea of social contract is very much known in both Western political philosophy and also in Eastern philosophy. Could we begin by giving a little definition of what you mean by social contract?
Yes, I should think that this term social contract originated in the West. Yes. We learn it from the West, and after that we I think attempted to attribute to the Eastern concept. What the original concept of social contract states is that the state originated due to a contract agreed upon by the people and the king. People are called electors and the king is called elect. So this theory says that there was a contract, agreement agreed upon by the electors and the elect. Therefore, in the contract, the duties of the electors and the elect are specifically written down. So this is what is called social contract.
I see. What you seem to be saying is there is a similar concept, although it is not conceptualized exactly, working in the Buddhist social philosophy. Now to go into Buddhist social philosophy, I think it would be useful to have some idea about the nature of the kingship and the rulership during the time of the Buddha.
During the Buddha's time, there were two systems of governance. One was monarchical, the other was republican. According to the Pali Canon, most of the states in the 6th century BC in India were monarchical. The Buddha had close relationships with the monarchs in the 6th century BC. There is a wrong view among the Buddhists that Buddha favored the republican system. That is not true. We don't have time to discuss about that. But I think Buddha was not happy about the monarchs, and he wanted to reform the system which was headed by the kings. Therefore, as I understand, he introduced, I think for the first time in the history of religious thought, this special unique concept of social contract as the basis of the origin of state.
So according to your the lesson, Buddha articulated this concept in the Agganya Sutta. So could you elaborate on how Buddha did that?
Yes. This is the 27th Sutta of the Digha Nikaya. I think as we know, the Brahmins at the time of the Buddha claimed that they were superior to the others. So this superiority claim was debunked by the Buddha by giving this story of the Agganya Sutta. The authority and the authenticity of the Agganya Sutta are well confirmed because it is found in the Chinese Tripitaka also. And according to the story, the Buddha points out that historically the Brahmins cannot claim that they were either superior or senior to the other social groups like warriors, traders and workers. This is the argument that Buddha has put forward in the Agganya Sutta.
So that's the context.
Yeah,
basically.
In that context, he has given how the kingship originated in the primitive society. So, in brief, as we know, the earth was inhabited by the people who came from the space. After millions of years, the society evolved to the extent that there should be someone who would look after the law and order in the society. Then the people gathered and discussed about this problem. How the society evolved, this position is explained in the Aganya Sutta in greater detail. Then the people gathered and discussed and decided that they should select a leader on the contract that can be agreed upon by both parties. So there were conditions to be fulfilled by the elected person, and there were conditions to be fulfilled by the electors. So they discussed this and decided to implement this agreement.
So what were the conditions?
There are various terms in the discourse to explain this, but I should say there are two more versions of this story. One is found in the Mahavastu and the other is in the Tibetan Dulva. When we take all these three versions, that is Pali, Sanskrit and Tibetan, on the part of the king, what he should do is to maintain law and order. This is how the Mahavastu and Tibetan Dulva have understood the Pali words in the Aganya Sutta.
I see.
So law and order has to be maintained by the leader, the king, the elected person. And on the part of the people, they have to give taxes to the state. During this period, which is very remote in the history of the human race, the only thing that they produced was paddy. So the people decided that if he maintains the rule of law, the people would give a part of paddy. That is called Salinang Bhaga. So the king agreed, and I personally think this is the beginning of the taxation in the history. So the king promised to punish the wrongdoers and maintain the law and order, and reward those who work for the progress of the society, and the people promised that they would pay the taxes to the society. This is the contract on which the state came into existence.
So this directly contrasts with the, say, divine power theory, right?
Yes. Before the Buddha came to the scene, and even after the theory that was accepted by the Indians was that the kingship was a gift given by the heavenly world, because it is said, this is specifically said in the Mahabharata, they implemented this in the heavenly world, and then they found that it can be applied to the human world also. So they brought down and established the kingship on earth. I think this is common to almost all theistic religions. They believe that the kingship was a divine gift. For the first time in history, it was the Buddha who said that it was a man-made institution. It was a man-made institution. Therefore, I should think that this Aganya Sutta is a unique document in the history of religions.
Finally, what do you think the Buddha wanted to convey through this story to the society?
During the time of the Buddha, as I said, the kings were dictators. They did not consider the opinion of the people. In the discourses, Vasenadi Kosala and the Senabhimisara were righteous kings, but their behavior was not so righteous. Therefore, the Buddha wanted to tell the people that the king is not different from the others. It is specifically said in this discourse. King is one from the people. Therefore, he does not have powers to go beyond the wishes of the people. A dictatorship is not at all meant to approved in the Buddhist system. This democratic way of governing the people was the message that the Buddha conveyed through the Aggañña Sutta.
Thank you very much, Roy.